Right then, let's get on with it. So, again, thought because I've obviously diverged quite heavily from Guru's Pokemon series that he's doing on UE5, I had another brain fart about how to make the wild encounters a little bit easier on developers using this if I produce it as a kit, and a little bit easier on the engine in terms of not having so many actors in the world. Because it's alright having an actor blueprint, I have one myself. Let me just get the top-down BP. And we'll go into blueprints, and we've got our whatchamacallit? Oh, where is it? The interactables. That's the storage. Where did I put that? Why is the frame rate so doge? It's probably because of this big level. Let's go back to the regular level and I'll show you what I mean. So top down example map. And there we go. And let me close the tabs to the right, see if that helps. I don't know why the frame rate is so atrocious. There we go, that's much better. Spin all those tabs I had open. Okay, we'll go to back down to the demo scene from Dreamscape Meadows then. So let's go into maps. Actually, first of all, before I do that, let's where's the show brush asset. Alright, there it is. So there's our BP Encounter Master, which it creates all the logic for spawning the wild encounter. Largely simplified version that I came up with myself. So what we're going to do is take that, and instead of having lots of different blueprints, because if we want to get one of these to each of a grass tile or wild encounter tile, we are going to run into issues with how many of them Unreal can actually hold on screen at any one time. So rather than do that, what we're going to do is we're going to do it all inside our character here. So the first thing I want to do actually is get the code for the third person character. And what we're going to do is we're going to take their movement controls here. So gamepad input, touch input, all that good stuff. And we're going to copy all of that. Except the sprinting, because obviously the way you sprint in most Pokemon games is using a bicycle. So we'll take that, copy it, and now we should be able to edit our top-down character. And let's get rid of all of this movement stuff. Might have to go into the player controller actually. But either way, let's get rid of all of this and paste in this. Compile. Yep, thought we'd run into some issues. Get base turn rate. So let's create a variable for that. Compile. And what is our base turn rate? 45. So we'll set that to 45. Compile. Okay, so now, hey, we can look around. The camera is a little bit douche. So let's go into here. We'll get our camera. Figure out where it is. And we're just gonna detach it from the spring arm. Okay, still not worked. Where's it gone now? Okay, so let's attach it to our mesh. Why is that happening? We really don't need to fuss with the base lookup rate. So spring arm. So reattach the camera to the spring arm. Why is that happening? We've got something in the level blueprint messing with the view targets. No. Jumping in play. No. What about on this fella here? Has he got anything on his event begin play? Doesn't have an event begin play. Let's get rid of the touch input because we don't want that yet anyway. So if we delete that, delete that, delete that, delete that. Okay, so what? Why do you now just constantly run forward? Okay, let's undo that. It's just, he's just moving forward all the time. Input axis move forwards. For some reason the VR camera was deleting that as what caused the issue. Okay, never mind. So let's try about begin play. Get player controller. Set view target with blend. And the new view target will be this camera. Okay, it can't be that camera. It can be self. Nope, that's not worked either. Fuck's sake. Okay, let's compare the spring arms. Oh, see, it's camera boom. Do collision test. That's 12 camera, do collision test. Ah, hang on. Use pawn control rotation. Nope, that's not not done it either. Top down character. I'm very much baffled as to why this is happening. Interesting. There's always something that goes wrong. Alright, that's just... I guess everything's got... It take a lot of code to unravel all the stuff that's casting to the third person character. Top down game mode. Let's try setting that to third person game mode. No, let's fuck's sake. Let's put that back to top down. Let's find the player controller. Player Top-down controller. Is it in here? Move to hit location. Okay. Input touch, input action, event tick, construction script, move to hit location. Okay. Let's get rid of all that. What is the camera? Why is? I genuinely don't understand why that's happening. Ah! Now we are getting somewhere. It's not the right angle or distance, but we're getting somewhere. So let's get the spring arm, and we will rotate it like 40 degrees, I guess. That's not done the trick. Let's just detach the camera from the spring arm completely. Need it to be visible for the time being so I can see it. Oh, there it is. So let's move that in, up, and down. Compile. There we go. Oh, but no, we don't want camera to rotate with the player. Or do we? I mean, it's not too bad, I suppose. Let's attach it back to the spring arm. And we'll reset the rotation. Reset the location of that. Angle it down. Hey, there we go. Finally, we got the camera working. Finally, the camera has come back to the game. And now, we can do all this stuff. We got a little mouse cursor. I like the icon here, so when we bring up the menus, we still use those. Close menu, go to the box, use the PC, so we can get some creatures out if we had any. Some items. Oh no, I haven't got the item one working yet. Deposit and cancel. But we can have a look at our inventory and see we do have a lot of items. Have a look at our decks. We've encountered no Pokemons. And there we go. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So, back to what I was originally doing. Which was to, yes, setting up the wild encounters in the grass. So what we'll do is we'll jump back over to the Meadows world, because that's already all set up. Well, it's already got grass instances, bush instances in there, because I'm going to use bushes instead of grass to make it a bit more obvious to the player. Because a lot, we've got a lot of grass in the worlds as it is these days. So if we used all just grass, the player would be encountering monsters everywhere. And also with the bushes, I feel it's a bit more visually obvious where and where not you're going to encounter Catchamons or whatever we're going to call them. But also, it makes more sense. You're running into a bush, you're startling one, you're flushing it out, battle ensues. So, what we need to do on this, first of all, is change this back to top-down game mode. And we should be able to hit play, and there we go. We can run around the world. Lovely stuff. I think our character should be a little bit bigger, though. They look a little tiny, but then again, that's in a top-down game, I suppose. Scale isn't really that important. But regardless, we shall persevere. Now, the thing that took me a while to figure out, and I did off-screen because it involved re-rigging a lot of collision stuff, was getting the player to overlap foliage in the first place. But once I got the ball rolling on that, it was pretty straightforward. So, if we go into our third-person character, which I was using for demonstration purposes, we'll see down here we've got this little bit here. And on the event tick, it's collecting all of the foliage, all of our overlapping components, and checking to see if any of them are foliage components, and if they are, it's printing their name. So we're going to grab that, go into our top down, back to our event graph, event tick, and we'll just pop that in there like that. And we'll add the components. So collision, sphere collision, call it sphere because that's what it's called in here. Compile, and that wants to be overlap all dynamic. No, it needs to be custom and ignore pawn, I believe. Query only, object type world static. Overlap all but the pawn. So now, wait, hang on, let's check the size of that sphere. Let's do 2. And we'll also move it down a little bit. Okay, so now when we go over bushes and trees, there we go. We'll get our excellent. So you can see as we go through bushes. Oh, you can't see because that's in a different window. So now, as we run around in the world, you'll notice as we overlap bushes, it'll tell us the name of the bush. And there we go. So now, what I'm going to try and do is get that to trigger on an event overlap. So let's do event begin overlap. And then what we're going to do is grab this bit here. So let's bypass all of that. We'll put that into there. That into there. We'll unhook the loop body. Move that back across a little bit. Just in case we do end up using this again. put some reroutes in just to make it look a little bit neater. There we go. So let's move this, drop it down here. So now what we should do is whenever we overlap something, we're going to cast to see if it's a static mesh component, and if it is, we're going to print the name. So what we should have in reality is a single, there we go, a single print instance of the bush, and we can run in and out of it. And every time we do, it will trigger this. So okay, we don't need the event tick 1 anymore. Don't want to consume more resources than we need to. So we will outie 5000 that. I'll comment this, say show was here. This detect overlap. Overlap foliage while encounter. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take our encounter master here, and instead of it triggering like this, we are going to do add custom event attempt to spawn creature. We're going to whack that into the do once. Then we can trigger this from the player. So what we're going to do is we're going to attempt to spawn creature. So we're going to take the encounter chance, and this is something we can set. So I'm just going to make sure that is instance editable and exposed on spawn. So we can determine our encounter chance when we spawn this actor into the world. Then we're going to get the list of available encounters, which we can also set from the spawn event. And we're going to look for whether or not we're going to make it shiny. Then we're going to generate the creature. So should we spawn at all? If no, we're going to destroy this actor. We're going to spawn it from the player when they overlap the foliage, and then we're going to destroy it. Now, the way I'm going to handle different routes, essentially, is going to be different foliage types. So we can compare the name of the foliage and determine which area of Pokemon should spawn in that area. So we're going to generate the creature. If it's not a valid class, we're going to once again destroy actor. Because at any point we come across something that's going to break, we want to make sure it fails safe by destroying this actor, so we're not clogging up the world with these spawn encounters. So let's move that down there a little bit. Move that across there. So we're going to get all the data table row stuff. Again, if the row is not found, we're going to destroy actor. And then we're going to save to the game instance. Once we've saved to the game instance, we're going to set it as a generated encounter. And we're going to start the battle transition widget. We're going to play through all of the animation. Then we're going to open that level. So when we encounter a Pokemon, or a creature-mon, should I say, whatever we're calling them, what we're going to have to do is spawn that actor. So if that's true, we're going to spawn actor for a class. And this is going to be creature master, no, encounter master. The spawn transform doesn't matter, because we're not going to be using it anyway, so we're going to always spawn and ignore collisions. And here we go, is our encounters available? So what we can do is then we can find a way of determining which encounters we should spawn on that route. So I'm going to go into the game instance and we're going to set up some of that stuff. So there we go, create one instance. So let's say variable encounters route 1. So this will be our list of encounters we can have on this route. So it'll be creature, master, class reference, and that's also going to be an array. Okay, so now what we can do is we can add the creatures we want to spawn here. So 1, 4, and 7. And that's going to set those up. Lovely. So now, what else do we need in here? We need to take the game instance. So event begin play. We don't need that view target event blend. Gonna cast to game instance. Get game instance. If it works, we're going to promote that to a variable. So we can pull the information out of it. Variable. If it fails, we're going to delay, point to, and just simply try again until we get that set correctly. And that will do it for the game instance. The gameplay, I don't like that there. So I need to go up a bit to be more curvy. That'll do. Okay. So now we've got that set as a reference, we can pull out our list. So we can get game instance. And we can get route. What did I call it? Encounters route 1. Why? Oh, I've done a silly. Delete. Cast to GI game instance. Silly monkey. And that's what we're going to promote. And there we go. Sweet. Okay, so now we can get in. Are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? Guy. On game. Object reference. Change variable type. Thank you. Compile. Lovely. Now can we have the encounters, please? Yay! Get encounters route 1. Now this is going to trigger every time the character walks over on me. So what we're going to want to do in future is have some way of selecting this. So what I'm going to do is select. I'm going to pop that into there. Then we can do this. And we can also go into here. Duplicate this a couple times. 2. 3, etc. and so forth. And then in our top-down character, we can get encounters route 2. plug that into this. And then we can get encounters route 3. And that can go in there like so. Actually, you know what? Let's put them in their actual entries so it gets less confusing. So that's route 1, route 2, route 3, and route 0 will just be like, I don't know, your starting area where you pick your first Pokemon. So that should work beautifully. And then also what we'll do in the game instance, we will add a new variable and we'll call it current route. That's going to be an integer and it's going to be just a singular, and then we can move that up. There we go. Compile it, and by default it's going to be 0. So we'll set that to default 1 for now. So okay, here we go. And then what we can also do from here is get current route, feed that in as our index, and we'll pull from that whatever we need. And we've got our encounter chance here, which is going to tell us how likely we are to generate an encounter to begin with. So if we look in the encounter master, our encounter chance is here. So this determines whether or not we're going to spawn anything at all. And then obviously, depending on which Pokemon, whether you want to give them a specific encounter chance. But the way I've set it up is their encounter chances generally going to be how many of these entries you have in the list. So for example, in route 1, I could add an additional creature 7. So now we've just upped the likelihood that you're going to encounter creature 7 without playing around with complex formulas, which you can put in there if you want to, but I'm just choosing not to do that at the moment. So we don't really need the third person character open anymore, or the top down controller. And there we go. Now we're ready to go and overlap some of the grass, or the bushes rather. It's going to spawn an encounter master. It's going to see if we have an encounter chance, and if it does, it's going to then generate the battle. So what we're going to do from here is we'll delay ever so slightly. Delay 0.2, and then we'll see, is this valid? And if that's true, we're going to attempt, what did I call it? Yeah, it is, it's just from here. Attempt to spawn creature. And there we go. That should be all she wrote. So let's just neaten this up a little bit. Actually, we'll put that there. And we can actually, I get really anal over my nodes. There we go. And if we'll do this, we'll just simply print string spawn attempt failed. And the last thing we want to do, actually no, we'll keep it like this because then we can go back to the other menu and check in the box. What's in the box? Right, so now if we play and run around, let's go find ourselves some bushes. And there we go. Got ourselves a routine, which we should be able to capture. But I just noticed an issue there. Oh, wait, yeah, actually, let's go to PC. I'll use the PC. We'll get out our Aquarab. Sorry, it was an Aquarab, not a routine. We can deposit it too if we want to. What I'm more interested in is my items. Yeah, that's working there. So let's see if we can generate another battle. Oh no, because these aren't going to work because there's no overlap events. Right, okay. Right, let's try again. It's not print string in a fail, which it should. Current route, and what's on route 1? Yep. I'm going to delay, I'm going to attempt to spawn creature. And we'll do a print string here. Let's see if that's spawn failed. Here we go. So, inventory. Okay, I must have been clicking on team. Yeah, let's click on team. Right, now, what we need to do now is make sure that this is no longer auto-capturing itself, so let's get rid of that delay. And then we've got an option for captured. So what I want to do now is set up the inventory. At least get the capturables running. So let's close down what we don't need right now. Let's touch the right, get rid of the message log, get rid of project settings, and let's go into our function library. Let's add a new function. Attempt to capture mon. So we're going to need to pass through some variables for this. So we're going to need mon, and that's going to be creature master object reference. No, creature master object reference. Okay. And we're going to need let's do all chats. So we can pass this through as a float. Okay, I think that's gonna be about it. I will also do capture chance. This will be the individual value of the Pokemon, mon, or whatever you want to call it. So we're gonna get that and that and that. Alright, so we'll start with the buttons. So it's the inventory slot. So we're gonna need some variables for this. So we go to the inventory data table. Struct cost description, new variable, and that's going to be a name. Actually, no, it probably needs to be an enum. I'd have thought. Hang on. Editor, miscellaneous, test data table, blueprints, enumeration, item uses, item use type. And we'll add new, and this will be capture capsule, new healing, restoring, and for now we just put other. Capture, capsule, healing, restoring, other. Let's save that. Now we should be able to item use type. There we go. So item. Okay, so when we're creating these buttons, we need to add that through as a variable. So item list, graph. So you're going to get out row item type, and we're going to set that in the widget as well. So let's go to the slot, graph, item type, item type, compile. Okay, so that needs to be instance editable and expose on spawn. So now it's going to set the item type in there as well. So if we go to the designer, and in this text block here, which is item name. For now, what we'll do is we'll just add type T, and then we can plug that enum. Oh, no, plug that enum to string into there. So there we go. Because it's creature capsule by default, that's what they're all reading as right now, which is fine because we haven't set up the types here yet. So we'll do healing. That's going to be healing. That's going to be restoring. And the others are all going to be creature capsules. So what I'm going to do now is add another variable here, and we'll call this float, and this will be capture chance. Now in the database we can we want 0 capture chances for all of those, but if it's a capture creature capsule, that one can be 0.1, medium 0.25, and a high capture capsule will give you a 50% chance of winning that. Okay, so now we can go into our inventory slot and do an on-clicked event here. So on-clicked. So the first thing we're going to do is well, yeah, we need the game instance. Is that being fed through? Yeah, that's being fed through. Okay. So we're gonna get game instance. We want player inventory. I want to get the row name. So we need data table row name. No. Get data table row. And the data table is going to be inventory. And the row name is going to be in this tangled mess here. All right. Out row name. Item index, which is an integer exposed on spawn. Do set item index. DT inventory, out row name. How was I doing this before? To int, no. Out row cost name. I'm doing it from the player's inventory. Okay. So the index here, that's the quantity. We want this. Ah, yes. So it's this. What? Array index. There we go. So now we can get that to string. So we're going to find out the information there. Maybe we don't need to do that actually. We just get this. Get a reference at this index. Is that? We'll see if that's greater than 1, greater than 0. And if that's true, we'll simply decrement that value. So we'll set array element, with that being our target array, that being our index, to the result minus 1. We'll always size the array to fit, but that shouldn't be a massive issue. So now if that's working properly, we should be able to just click on buttons in the inventory. Okay, no. And string that value. So that is working correctly. Good. I think what we need to do after we've done that is custom event, reset inventory. That'll repopulate our list. And then from our inventory slot, I'll do owning UI. And that's going to be UI item list, object reference, expose and spawn. And now we can get that out and reset inventory. And then from the UI list, we can just pass that through as self. Well, that's not quite worked. Okay. From parent. Create widget. item list, add to parent, add to... How was I doing this before? I had this working and then Unreal crashed. So we know this is working here. We just need to update the text. I think what I did last time was I had this bound. So we had this text here, now it's getting set text. Crash, what the hell? Am I all the way up there? What we're going to have to do is potentially pass through the field menu variable as well. We definitely need to reset the inventory, so I'm going to try and get that out of there. Do that. Well, that didn't quite work. Restart. Okay, here we go. Let's try this instead then. Oh, I'm not doing it. Only UI. Reset. Well, reset cursor. Reset inventory. Okay. Epic stuff. So now what we want to do, because obviously when we do that in the game, it's going to bring up another menu. So we are cushy on that front. What's this? Ah, post process. So yeah, now we can run around. We can bring up our inventory, and we can try and use our items. So let's focus on the capsules at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring that up there. Get rid of that French string now. Neaten this up a little bit. So the first thing we're going to try and do is deduct an item. If one is available to be deducted. Ooh, creamy, creamy, creamy. Oh, bloody hell. And we're going to reset the inventory. Now, we'll worry about sorting out healing team members and whatnot at a later date, because that's going to be a little bit more complicated. But for now, we're just going to stick with what we're doing right now. So we're going to get item type equal to capsule capture branch. So are we a capsule capture? Yes. If that's true, we're gonna get all actors of glass. It's gonna be creature master. Oh, but we want to know if we're in battle mode as well. Which we should be. This is going to fail otherwise. So we will, for each, and we will attempt to capture. Because it should only be one. Attempt to capture Mon. Delete that. And that's going to be in our function library. So what we need to do is find out which Pokeball we are using. And we're doing that with its name. I think we're going to do it with its name anyway. going to collapse this to a function. Collapse the function. Capture. So we're going to get data table row, and it's inventory, row found. We're going to get all access of class and do the dirty, but we're going to split that struct bin. We're going to get the item index to string, plug that into the row, and we want to get capture chance of the ball. So if we go into inventory here, it's the struct, isn't it? We'll do ball capture chance. Save. So now we're going to find out what our ball capture chance is. And we're also going to data table row, data table row. This is going to be our base stats. And the row name. How am I doing the item index? Am I starting from 0? Blueprints, data, blueprints, top down, UI, inventory. Oh, it's creature, isn't it? Creature I'm looking for. Blueprints, data, base stats. So they're going from 1 to 9. That's going from 1 to 9. That's not going to work there, is it? Flee chance. We need a capture chance as well, don't we? Flee chance, capture chance. So we can set these up individually. And it's going to be a float. So we'll save that. We'll go to the base stats, and we'll just give them all a flat capture chance of 0.25. So if I do that here, actually, let's save that. They've all got a base stat of 0.25. So back here, what we can do instead of that is feature stats. We'll split that struct, and we'll get the creature's capture chance and pump that into there. Let's move that down here a bit. And then once that's completed, we'll print string text format text. We'll do the ball used. So ball used, ball chance, creature chance, and total. Total chance. The creature chance. All chance. And all used. So name ball chance, creature chance, and total is that plus that, and that goes in there. So let's do on this, on the event graph, we want to do branch another boolean, battle mode, and we'll pass that through from the UI list. Well, it's field menu really, but it doesn't matter. Refresh nodes. So we only want to do this if field menu is false. So let's go back into here, change that to that. It's field menu false, then try and capture. Okay. Let's see if we can find ourselves a battle. Auto spawn failed. There we go. Okay, so inventory, all used, inventory, high capsule, ball show. Yep, that's working good. Okay, excellent. So now we can go into our function library. And what we want to do is make sure that is connected up. Yep. And we can do the math. So gonna get ball chance plus capture chance. Add those two together. I don't know why I made two add nodes. And then we're gonna generate a random float. So branch, we'll do a random float between 0 and 1. So is that greater? No, less? So it'll be less than, oh no, it's greater than 75, it's going to be in the 25%. If it's less than 75, it's going to be in the 75%. Even though if that's less than points, no, is that less than a random floating range between 0 and 1? So is that less than points? Is that we're going to generate a random float between 0 and 0.75. Is that less than this? So is 0.75 going to be less than this? Hang on. How am I going to do this? A random float. We generate a random float between 0 and 1. Okay. Is it less than or equal to? Yeah. Is it less than? Is it less than these two added together? If that's true, we're going to attempt to capture them on. No. What did I call it? Blueprints, creature master. Yeah, that should be captured. So, where's our function? Captured. So if our result between 0 and 1 is greater than our 75% range, we're not going to capture it. But if it is, we are. If we are, we is. Let's go find a bush. Spawn failed. Here we go. So inventory, capture capsule. We got him. Use PC, creatures, acquire app, withdraw, slot 1, close. Here we go. Okay, so that works as intended. And if for some reason this fails, we'll print string capture failed. So let's try that one. Oh, there we go. Action already. Inventory. Capsule. Capture failed. Inventory. Capsule. And we got him that time. Creatures. Routine. Withdraw. Slot 1. Cancel. hang on, I need to address something. Switch PC. Graph. Click button 0. What's button 0? E button 0. Set visibility to hidden. Oh wait, hang on. And that might have been what was doing it. So when we click open builds PC, we're going to set button 0 to hidden and that one to visible. I'm going to set it to visible and that one to hidden. Okay, sweet. So let's tidy this up a little bit, because we've got some major mess going on right here. So we don't want that print string anymore, so we can get rid of half of that. Get rid of that. Move that across. And we really want to get this and offload it to that. And then we go to our graph here. Right, is it equal to capsule? Yes. Are we in battle mode? No. Then go for the capture. Get the index, set up the function. Good stuff. And then we want to do this. So if we move that a little bit. Okay, so now it's only going to deduct the item if we successfully do it. So what does that look like when we're in the field? Let's move that down there. Now that we're about to deduct the item, that's when we're going to reset the inventory. So only when we actually use the ball. So we verified that we've got more than one of whatever it is we're trying to use. We're going to check its item type. And then see if we're in battle mode. If we're not in battle mode, we're going to run the capture. Now for the healing, we can do that in the battle mode and in the menu, so that's not too much of an issue right now, but we just want to make sure that you can only use these balls in battle mode. Well, actually, let's just rename that to field menu, just to avoid any confusion. So rename field menu. And it's passing through the chances of the likelihood of us capturing each individual type of Pokemon with each different type of ball. So failed spawn there, failed spawn there. There we go. So now we can go into inventory. We'll try a regular capture ball, and it failed. And there we go, that one succeeded. Let's check our menu. Okay, something screwy's going on here. So vertical box 1 to visible. Let's go find a battle. I have to do something about the scale of this dude. He's tiny. There we go. We got a successful spawn. Inventory. Capture capsule. Capture failed. And there we go. Capture succeeded. So let's go over to the PC. Click. Cancel. Click. Cancel. That's strange. Inventory. It still allow me to use them in the overworld. Now I'm gonna have to pass through that battle mode variable, I think. I need to do it if battle mode is true. So our item list. I'm gonna add variable, battle mode, expose it, and then in our main HUD. So UI battle HUD, when we create our inventory, unclicked, refresh nodes, are we in battle mode? Yes, we are. So now we shouldn't be able to use those, but we are still able to use those. Battle HUD is going to pass through to our items list the status of battle mode. Our item list is then going to pass for, oh yeah, we're passing through the wrong one. That's through field menu still. There we go, battle mode. Inventory, creature capsule. Yeah, we can't use those because we're not in battle mode. Excellent. So now it's going to check if we've got enough items. It's going to check what item it is. And just for illustrative purposes, we can add the other item types in here as well. Say just healing. Is that true? Yes. Then we can bypass that and go straight to reset inventory for the time being, just to show that the items will go down again now. Okay, so inventory, healing, no. So why is that happening? Is it greater than 0? Yes. Is it equal to capsule? No. Is it equal to healing? Yes. Reset inventory. And do the do. So why that didn't work key? Let's try and get to battle and see how it fares in battle mode. Come on. Oh, it's a lot of spawn failed. Maybe I should up the spawn chances. There we go. So we've got no one on our team. Okay, so it caught him with, like, what? I should only be going across to there if capsule is true. If healing is true, we should reset our inventory and dock whatever the index is. We don't want to be doing capture. I'm gonna have to come up with a better way of running this, I think. What I might do is just have it all in one big database and have one function. So basically every item can affect stats of a Pokemon, but not every item will affect all of those stats. So there's that. Well, the capturing works just fine. Let's print string on that. Because we know we got more than one, so inventory. So that's not working at all. We're definitely passing through the item type. I'll have to have a think about that and come back. But for now, I think I've been going long enough. Time to go and get something to eat and drink. And we'll have a look at this later.